Hello everyone, welcome to Amazing Dinosaurs on YouTube. Today we have 10 brand new Jurassic World Rebirth and Jurassic World Survival toys to unbox for you. We've got the Jurassic World Survival Wild Roar Afrovenator. We got the Wild Roar Ceratosaurus. The Wild Roar Brachauchenius, Reuben, Delgado, and Parasaurolophus. Strike Attack Dimorphodon. Jurassic World Survival Strike Attack Kosmoceratops. The Jurassic World True Effects Hammond Collection Sinoceratops. The True Effects Hammond Collection Mussaurus. True Effects Hammond Collection Ornitholestes. And Duncan, Kincaid, and Velociraptor. Cool. Let's check these out. Okay, so we got the Jurassic World Survival Wild Roar Afrovenator. So chomping, turning action, the head and the body lights up with like green coloring. It's just hard to tell because I have really bright lights here. But I mean, it is awesome. Also, you have new packaging, which is really cool. You got the T-Rex popping out there. Got a light up attack, and there's the other three you could buy. I got all of them except the Pteranodon. Okay, so we have the Jurassic World Survival Wild Roar Ceratosaurus. This is new packaging, Jurassic World Survival. You got a really cool T-Rex popping out there, but this Ceratosaurus steals the show. So it does have chomping, roaring, and the neck and the whole body lights up with like a yellow color. And I mean, the detail on the dino, I mean, it looks like a custom painted dino. It is just so cool. There you can see exactly what lights up on the dino. There's the other three. I'm only missing the Pteranodon. So we got the Jurassic World Survival Wild Roar Brachauchenius. Probably killing that, but wow, the Wild Roar packaging is awesome. You got a new logo. You got the T-Rex popping out of the package over there. You got this guy, which is similar to a Brontosaurus. So all these parts here light up like a green color, which is really cool. So you can see here exactly what lights up, like stripes of green from the head down through the body. There's the other three. I'm only missing the Pteranodon. Okay, next one is Jurassic World Survival Strike Attack Dimorphodon. So these are the new survival ones, really cool, like T-Rex logo and everything, but really bright coloring. It looks like the Chaos Theory dinosaur toys from Jurassic Park that Hasbro used to make, which were really awesome. So you got like super good flapping action, really bright coloring over the whole dino. It says wing flapping action, and here is the other three. I'm only missing the Dilophosaurus and the Nanotyrannus. Okay, next one is Jurassic World Survival Strike Attack Kosmoceratops. Similar to Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld? Maybe. They both look kind of wild. So you got the T-Rex there. You can see this guy's got really cool, like almost like teeth hanging off his plate over there. It'd be nice if they kept this with the bright colors for the other Jurassic World Survival ones. It says head striking action, and there is the other three. Cool. Okay, so I finally found this one. This is Duncan, Kincaid, and Velociraptor from the Jurassic World Rebirth movie. Really hard to find. I found this on Amazon. I'll put a link below the video. But anyways, you're getting a brand new, really cool looking Velociraptor with new coloring, and Duncan Kincaid with binoculars and a large gun. So it says Duncan Kincaid Velociraptor. And there's the other human set, which I have. Okay, the other human set that was just released on Amazon: Jurassic World Rebirth, Reuben, Delgado, and Parasaurolophus. So this is our second Reuben Delgado. The first one had like a pinkish type shirt. This one has like a red raincoat. He's got a shock rod. He's got a stick. Really cool, bright colored Parasaurolophus, which I'm loving. So Reuben Delgado, Parasaurolophus, and the Duncan Kincaid set I showed you earlier. There's a new one that just came out at Target. This is the Jurassic World Hammond Collection True Effects Sinoceratops. Really cool looking dino. I'll put a link below where you could buy it. But this one looks awesome. It comes with an extra horn, and I don't know if that's poop or what. It might be. And then here's a look at the back of it. These True Effects ones are awesome. If you've seen my earlier video where I unboxed the True Effects Spinosaurus, really cool. There's my custom Jurassic Park gates, which will fit super colossal Spinosaurus or any of the super colossal dinos busting out. Okay, we got the Hammond Collection Mussaurus, another True Effects dino. This one also was at Target. Check below if you're interested in buying. Really cool coloring, comes with extra claws there. There's a look at the different poses you could put it into, and there's the other new ones that just came out. Okay, so we got the Hammond Collection True Effects Ornitholestes. Really cool looking dino, just came out at Target. I'll put a link below the video if you want to buy it. It comes with extra claws there. And here's the True Effects different poses that you could put the dino in, and the other new ones that just came out. Cool.
Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel, everyone. Today we are unboxing a bunch of Jurassic World toys. Let's go ahead and start with this brand new Stegosaurus right here. Let's check it out. All right, so this Stegosaurus here is mostly green and brown, so you know it's gonna camouflage well into the jungle. So if you look, there is a button right here. Press this down and check out its tail right there. That is a massive defense move right there. It can swing its spikes on its tail and hit whatever predator's trying to attack it. And look at that, it came with, looks like it's a cage that wraps around some part of the dinosaur. I bet it's for the tail, actually. Let's put this on. All right, so we've got it on there most of the way. It's a little tricky to have it stay on. But let's go ahead and try out the action move now. Here we go, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! All right, check it out. The Stegosaurus is free. All right, let's move on to the next dinosaur. All right, here we go. One of the coolest dinosaurs ever, the T-Rex. Check it out. So it's got a button in the back that you can control the mouth with, and the neck moves as well. This is pretty cool. This is for sure my favorite dinosaurs. And right here, we've got an Indominus Rex. So let's check it out. If you move the arms right here, let's see what that does. Interesting, so the arms control the mouth when it opens and closes. Interestingly, the top of the Indominus Rex right here, if you look really closely, you can see that it's like a rubber instead of a plastic like its body right here. The whole top is made out of rubber. So it kind of actually looks like skin a little bit more. And look at those giant teeth too. This is a really cool dinosaur. Let's go ahead and open up another brand new Jurassic World dinosaur. Let's look. This is the Carnotaurus Toro figure from the Camp Cretaceous Dino Escape series. All right, here we go. Look, it's like a little miniature Carnotaurus. It looks kind of like a baby. It's kind of cute, really. So let's see what kind of actions that this toy has. See, first there's a button up top here. Let's go ahead and press that and see what it does. Aw, so it closes its eyes and it has a little dinosaur sound effect. That's cool. And then the tail as well. You can see when you move the tail, the head moves too. And there's a button on the bottom too. Let's try that out. Wow, that's so cool. This will look so cool with my other dinosaurs. Here is another T-Rex, but this one's a little different from the last T-Rex that we had because this one has a button up top. When you press it, the neck will spin. Look at that. That is a massive bite. And there's a second button on this one too. When you press the second button, the tail goes back and forth too. Wow, that's so cool. Which dinosaur is your favorite? Do you like the T-Rex? Or do you like the Indominus Rex more? Let me know in the comments below. Which dinosaur is your favorite? And once again, look at these giant teeth in its mouth. And the neck can move too. The arms move, the legs move. This Indominus Rex is gigantic. That is so cool. So look at this one. This one is a small Indominus Rex, just like that miniature Carnotaurus that we saw just a minute ago. Let's open it up. All right, so look at this one right here. And this isn't like a normal sized Indominus Rex. This is like it's kind of like a display dinosaur almost. Look at that. The tail moves, the head moves. Let's see what actions that this toy has. So there's a button right on its nose. Let's press that and see what happens. Oh, so it's sound effects. That's cool. Let's press it again. Plus, this is a feeding frenzy dinosaur. So you see it comes with this piece of meat. Let's see what happens when we feed this Indominus Rex this piece of meat. So we've got the piece of meat here. We've got the Indominus Rex. Let's go ahead and feed this dinosaur. Here we go. Ready? Jump, 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 jump. Oh. Whoops. This sure is one hungry Indominus Rex. This is super cool. I'm gonna put this right next to my miniature Carnotaurus. All right, here we go. Another unopened Jurassic World dinosaur. This one is the Shringosaurus. Let's open it up. All right, here we go. This is the Shringosaurus, and this is quite a bit different looking. I mean, look at the size of that neck, and it kind of looks, I mean, really, it almost looks like a dog, don't you think? Or like a not dinosaur type of animal. These were herbivores, and they grew 10 to 13 feet long. So these things got actually pretty big. And check out those horns on the front too. All right, another Stegosaurus. This one is not green and brown like the last one that we unboxed. This one is actually, it's kind of like a gray color, but I think it has the same action button as the other Stegosaurus that we unboxed too. Let's see if we can find that button. All right, here it is. So you press down this, and the tail flips back and forth. Let's see what this could do to another dinosaur. Look at that swinging action right there. And here comes another dinosaur. Wham! Oh, that was such a big hit. Don't mess with the Stegosaurus. Here is another one of the super popular dinosaurs from Jurassic World. This is the Velociraptor. And this one is very adjustable. Look at this, the tail moves and the legs, they have multiple joints on them so you can spin them around in all directions, and its mouth opens and closes too. That is so cool. This is a super posable dinosaur. Here we have a Jurassic World Dilophosaurus. Check out the, I don't know if those are called wings or fins on the front. I bet those are used to intimidate other dinosaurs. Look at that. When those come out, you'll want to stay away from this dinosaur. One of the stars of the Jurassic World movies. the Indoraptor. These dinosaurs are super fierce, super sneaky. You do not want to get trapped in a building with this dinosaur. Here is another Velociraptor. Check this one out. So the tail goes up and down, and you can slash with those claws right there. And it has a button on the side too. All right, another Indominus Rex. But this is like another miniature Indominus Rex. And, oh, did you see that? This one has a battle damage feature. So you can slide it open and closed. So when you're playing with it, it is fully healed right now. And then while you're playing with it, you can hit it, bam, and suddenly it's a wounded dinosaur. Here we go, another Dilophosaurus. I think we've got a few in here. So here is a gray one, and it's got a little bit of yellow on the top. Over here, wow, look at the color on this one. You could see this from a mile away. Look at the orange and the yellow. This thing is fierce. And we've got lots more Velociraptors in here. Look at this green one. And we've got good old blue right here. We've got this green Velociraptor here. This is another super adjustable Velociraptor. And look at those green stripes on its back too. That is super cool. And check out these claws on its feet. You can actually adjust them up and down. So Velociraptors can control when they're hidden and when they're ready to attack. Oh, look at this. We've got a special star for this video. It's John Hammond from the Jurassic Park movies. Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you like my dinosaurs. Check out this super bright Carnotaurus. Look at those golden horns on its head, the golden spikes on its back, and that bright red color all over its body. Let's see what this action button does. All right, this is a chomping Carnotaurus. Let's see how many more Velociraptors we have in here. How many do you think we have? Let's go ahead and count them. Here we go. Here's one Velociraptor. It's brown colored. This is the second Velociraptor. This one is yellow with green stripes on the back. Here is our third Velociraptor. This has an action on it too. Look at that. Pull the tail, the head moves up and down. Here is Velociraptor number 4. This one is green with red stripes. Wow, look at that. I think that you'd be able to see that in the jungle too. So this one may not camouflage that well, which is really interesting. Here is Velociraptor number 5. This one is a little bit smaller from the other Velociraptors that we've seen in this video. If you look at this Velociraptor's feet, they're actually spring-loaded, so you can make this Velociraptor jump. Here's Velociraptor number 6. I really like the coloring on this one. Look at those orange arms, and then it's got the yellow side and the brown on the top. That is super cool. And just like the last Velociraptor, this has spring-loaded legs too, so you can make this one jump up into the air. Check this out. This is a Stegosaurus, I think. When you pull on the tail, look at how its head moves. It like lunges forwards. Here is another interesting looking Stegosaurus. You can see we've got some battle damage on the side, and just like the last one, when you pull the tail, its neck moves. Oops, you know what? I missed one more Velociraptor earlier. Look at this one. This is a tan Velociraptor with green stripes on the top. Very cool and very ferocious. Check out all these super brightly colored dinosaurs that we have in our Jurassic World collection too. We've got this little green guy. we've got this red dinosaur. I think this is a Spinosaurus. Here is a purple dinosaur. What kind of dinosaur do you think this is? Let me know in the comments below. Here is a smaller blue dinosaur with that red fin on the top. Very cool. Here is another brightly colored dinosaur. This looks like a Spinosaurus too. Look at that huge yellow and orange spine on the top. Here is a Spinosaurus, and check out the action on this toy. When you wiggle it up and down, the head moves. That's super cool. Wow, look at the coloring on this one. This one is mostly blue, but the spine on the top is a bright red color with black stripes. This looks like a Spinosaurus too. Wow, look at this one. This one is also super brightly colored too. It's got that bright yellow color and then the bright red on top. Look at this one. This is a Pachycephalosaurus. And what's unique about this dinosaur is that hard shell that it has right on the tip of its head. It's almost like a helmet, really. Only a few dinosaurs left. Look at this. It looks like a little baby dinosaur. It looks kind of like a Stegosaurus, but I'm not sure. Do you know what type of dinosaur this is? Here is a cute little Stegosaurus. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And if you wiggle the tail, oh, this is so cute. And look at that. The head moves up and down, and the tail as well. That is super cute. Here are our final two dinosaurs. We've got a miniature Indominus Rex right here. Very neat. And a little tiny, what is that, a T-Rex? What do you think that looks like? That is a massive jaw. Look at the size of those teeth. It's got a huge head and a little body. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaur channel, everyone. Today, we are unboxing all of my largest carnivore toys, starting with this Indominus Rex right here. As you can see, it starts with the blue, and then it fades into a nice purple, and then it's got these black stripes with the orange outline. I really like this one. This is probably one of my most colorful dinos in my collection. Moving right along, we've got this hybrid Indominus Rex right here. Check this out. It's got the gold bottom, the white sides, and then the super bright red along the top. And this hybrid Indominus Rex does have some features too. First of all, this button, and out of the top, bam, comes some spikes. Also, if you pull its arm right here, its jaw moves up and down. It's battery operated, so it'll roar at the same time too. Let's check that out. This one is also one of my brightest predators in my collection as well, so it's one of my favorites too. Let's move on to the next dinosaur. All right, I see another big one right in here. Check this out. This is an old school Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus Rex. The whole body is made out of rubber, so it's kind of like bendable, and you can see it moves quite a bit. Inside the mouth, you see that if you open it up, that there's actually a lot of space down the throat, so you can fit smaller dinos in there if you want this dinosaur to eat them. Here is another rubber-coated Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you can see the whole body is like a little bit squishy, which gives it a lot more of a realistic look and feel. It feels more like actual skin. And when you squeeze the stomach here, the mouth opens and closes a little bit too. Next up, we've got this super colorful Spinosaurus. So right on the spine right there, You can see this unique coloring. It's like blue rings on its spine, and the rest of the body is like brown. It's got some tan coloring as well. And on the face and on the spine a little bit, has this dark red color too. And look at those green eyes. Those are some hungry looking eyes right there. And here is another T-Rex. Let's check this one out. It has 2 buttons on the back. Ooh, look at that. It's got a twisting action with its jaw. And the other button swings its tail back and forth. All right, all the way in the back here, I can see this ginormous Indominus Rex. So this is the normal coloring for an Indominus Rex. If you look on the side right here, you can see that we've got the battle damage. And if you press the button on top, it'll change back and forth between damaged and fully healed. And as you can hear as well, it's got those awesome sound effects coming out of the speaker. And of course, we've got the button on the tail that controls the mouth. Next up, we've got another rubber-coated T-Rex. This one you can see is an older one. It's from the Jurassic Park series. So the legs move, and the legs are actually solid plastic. It's just the body right here that's that rubber coating. And on this T-Rex, if you wiggle the tail back and forth, you can see that the neck also goes back and forth too. Let's check out this hybrid T-Rex right here. Right on the top, it's got those spikes that pop out when you press this button. See right here? Bam! Look at those huge spikes, and it's got some spikes on the top of its head too. And the legs move, the arms move, and the jaw as well. This is a cool hybrid T-Rex. I haven't seen that many like this one. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen a hybrid T-Rex like this before? Over here in this corner is a T-Rex, but it's got some different coloring. See, it's like camouflage almost. It's got that green and then the black stripes and like a brown-green stripes as well. So this T-Rex, I bet, would blend in really well in the jungle. And like some of the other T-Rex toys I have, when you move the tail, the head will move as well. Let's check that out. Look at that. It's got a huge chomping action. Over here we've got another big old Spinosaurus. This one with a bit more natural coloring. You can see it's mostly green. The spine on its back is red with a white stripe on it. And we've still got that red coloring on its face up here too. And if you press the button on its head, it roars. Next up, we've got this T-Rex Predator. And with the tail, you can twist the tail and the head spins. We've also got the action button on the tail. When you press it, it opens its mouth. And look at these teeth too. Man, some of these are really big. Look at the different size teeth that are all in the mouth. And here is another huge Indominus Rex. This is a lot like the other one that we saw just a moment ago from this bin. And on the tail, just like the other one, we've got this action button that'll make the dinosaur roar. And look at that, there's even some space in its mouth that you could fit a few small dinosaurs in there too. And I think on the Indominus Rex, these teeth are probably even more massive than a T-Rex's teeth in real life. Just look at those. On top over here, we've got a Carnotaurus. Look at these tiny little arms right there. Got the, ooh, it roars too. And look at when you twist the tail here. Its head moves as well. All right, another T-Rex. This one it looks kind of tan, almost a little orangish, really. And it's got the adjustable head right here, the button on top of its head. That'll make the dinosaur open its jaw. And as usual, adjustable legs and adjustable tail. Ooh, look at this one. It's another T-Rex. Man, I have so many T-Rexes. So this one, even though it doesn't have the camouflage coloring like that other T-Rex we saw earlier, this one is still brown and like a dark brown on top. So this would still camouflage into the jungle pretty well. I mean, it's kind of the same color as a tree, you know? So I think this would still blend in to the jungle. And you probably wouldn't see it sneaking up on you until it was too late. Over here in the back, we've got a Jurassic World Indominus Rex. And this one is actually a bit different from the other Indominus Rexes that we've seen in this haul so far, because the hands actually activate the jaw. So when you move the arms and hands down, the jaw opens super wide. And the top of this Indominus Rex actually has that rubber coating as well. So it's all like soft up here and it feels like real skin, and then the rest of the body is that normal plastic that you see on these dinosaur toys. And next up here, we've got a T-Rex with a darker brown coating on the side and then an even darker brown on the top. And again, with these buttons, with the top button, when we press that, twist his neck and snaps his jaw shut. That's pretty powerful. And then the other button moves the tail back and forth. Let's keep digging in here. Let's see. Check out this T-Rex. So this one is actually a bit different from the other ones we've seen, because when you twist the tail, it's got that huge stomping action. That's really cool. And a button on top that operates the mouth. All right, and here is our final T-Rex in the bin. This one is one of the more orange ones, and when you move the tail, just like the others, the head moves. Did you know that humans and T-Rexes have almost the same amount of bones in their body? That's crazy to think about. Humans have 206 bones and T-Rexes have 200. That's pretty close. All right, we've only got 2 more dinosaurs in here. Let's check them out. Here is another classic Indominus Rex. Look at those movable arms, movable legs, and the button for the jaw. And for our final dinosaur in our biggest carnivore haul is the Spinosaurus. It's got the button on top to open up the mouth. And the classic spine. Look how big that spine is, too. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out this huge collection of dinosaur toys that I have on my shelves right here. Let's go ahead and start right over here with the Tapehara. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's a little winged dinosaur. Look at that. That is pretty cool. But what I'm most excited to show you is this giant T-Rex right here. Look at the size of that thing, and it's custom colored too. Up next, we've got a little Chialingosaurus right here. It's a cute little guy, you know? Beside it, we've got this nice little Indominus Rex here. It's like a little baby Indominus Rex. And its mouth opens and closes too. And then right beside it, we've got Mama Indominus Rex. Wow, look at the size of that thing. And it's even got a stomach compartment so you can actually feed the dinosaur other smaller dinosaurs. And right beside it, we've got another gigantic T-Rex. Look at that. This is so cool. This is such a huge dinosaur. And right beside it, we've got a little dinosaur called the Shringosaurus. Check out those horns. It's a funny looking dinosaur, don't you think? Over here, we've got this cool rubbery Indominus Rex. It's got this rubber skin texture that makes it feel kind of like a real life skin, you know? And right beside it, we've got one of my favorite dinosaurs, the Carnotaurus. Look at how ferocious they look and those huge horns on top. Up next, we've got another massive T-Rex. Look at the size of that compared to the dinosaurs beside it. And this one's a cool gray color too. And look at those teeth. Those are some huge teeth. Moving on, we've got a little baby Triceratops right here. Look how cute he is. And he's got the battle damage on the side as well. And right beside it, we've got another vicious red dinosaur too. This is an awesome colored dinosaur. Check that out. And at the very end of the shelf here, we've got a cute little Gallimimus. Isn't that cute? Moving on to the next shelf, we've got this giant Quetzalcoatlus. Look at the size of this thing. Those wings are huge. Up next, we've got a Mama Dilophosaurus and a baby Dilophosaurus, still inside the egg. Moving on over here, we've got this awesomely covered Sarcophagus. Over here, we've got this yellow dinosaur with the red top and that huge horn, but I'm not sure what kind of dinosaur this is. Do you know? Why don't you let me know in the comments below. On our next shelf, we've got this awesome looking Triceratops. Look at the size of those horns and all those little horns along the edge too. Right beside it, we've got this cute little Ankylosaurus right here. And up next, we've got this massive Ceratosaurus. Let's see what kind of noises it makes. Wow, that is super amazing. Right next to it is a dinosaur called the Callovosaurus. This is a smaller dinosaur, but look at that coloring too. I really like that yellow and blue combination. Up next, we've got the Ouranosaurus, and it's got a button right here. Let's see what happens. Whoa, that is super cool. That is awesome. On to the next shelf over here. This is a Dracorex. It's a smaller dinosaur, but check out all those spikes on its head right there. And right next to it, we've got another big dinosaur, the Cryolophosaurus here. Look at that yellow coloring with the orange on top. That is super cool. Right beside it, we've got a giant Pteranodon. Look at the size of this thing. It has to be like a foot wide with the wings. And the final dinosaur on this level is the Suchomimus. Moving down to the next shelf, we've got a huge Indominus Rex. Look at this. And he's even got space inside the mouth that you can fit dinosaurs in. Right beside it, I've got a little Herrerasaurus. This is a little guy, you know, but it's still a pretty cool collectible. And of course, one of the most popular dinosaurs, the T-Rex. And right beside it, we've got one of the largest ocean dinosaurs, the Mosasaurus. This is a super cool dinosaur, and I love having this one on my shelf. All right, let's move on. Oh, over here, check this out. This is a Scorpius Rex. Wow, that is super cool. Right beside him, we've got Owen from the Jurassic World movies. Say hi, Owen. Up next, we've got this beautifully colored Ceratosaurus. And I think the horns on this guy is even bigger than a Triceratops. Look at that. And over here, we've got this little T-Rex. It's green colored, but it has the battle damage on the side too. And right beside it, we've got the Carcharodontosaurus, and it has an action button. That is super awesome. And the last one on this shelf is a Dilophosaurus with that super bright coloring. Up next, we've got another giant Indominus Rex. But check this one out. This is a hybrid Indominus Rex. Look at that coloring and the spikes and the gold on its claw. And it's got this button right here. That is so cool. Right beside it, I've got this little Gallimimus dinosaur. And right next to that, the Albertosaurus. And this dinosaur has battle damage as well. Check that out. Moving on, we've got a huge Stegosaurus right here with those massive spikes on its tail right there. And the last one on this level is the beautiful Concavenator. Look at that bright red on its back and that purple right on its face too. And it's got an action button. Let's see what happens. All right, moving down a level, here we go. All right, another giant Mosasaurus. Everyone watch out! And over here, we've got another small water dinosaur. This is called the Plesiosaurus. Right beside it, this awesome T-Rex. And look at this button on it. Look at what it does. Wow, look at that roar action. That is so cool. And in the middle shelf, we've got a Baryonyx right here. Oops, I knocked over this guy. This one is a Pachycephalosaurus. And another T-Rex. Look how giant these are compared to the other dinosaurs. That is so cool. And right next to the T-Rex, I've got this awesome colored Dimetrodon. Look at this. Look at the size of that spine on its back too. And over here, oh, you see that? It's a Velociraptor. Look out, oh no. And over here, perched on its rock, is a Pteranodon. One of the coolest flying dinos. At least I think so. Okay, moving on to the next shelf. We've got this awesome looking Baryonyx. Look at that. And right beside it, a cute little Stygimoloch with battle damage on the side. Over here, we've got a giant Stegosaurus. Look at the size of this thing compared to the Stygimoloch. That is huge. But wait, you haven't seen huge until you've seen the next one, which is the giant Spinosaurus. Wow. This dinosaur is so cool. And the final dinosaur on this level is the great Carnotaurus. Everybody watch out. All right, let's move down another level. This is the final level, and it has some more giant dinosaurs, like this giant Apatosaurus. Look at the size of this guy. Right beside it, I've got this awesome blue Velociraptor. Look at the coloring on him. And right beside it, we've got another giant Spinosaurus. These are so cool. I love the coloring on their spines. But wait, there's even more. Look at this giant Velociraptor. This is huge. It's probably 2 or 3 feet long. And right below it, we've got Blue the Velociraptor as well. Moving on to the next shelf here, what do we have? We've got a giant Carnotaurus. Look at those horns. And it's even got some battle damage as well. Look at that. And with this dinosaur, you can actually feed it smaller dinosaurs, and it has a stomach compartment at the bottom too. That is super cool. And a baby Carnotaurus. Look at that. over beside it, we've got a family of Brachiosauruses here. Look, here's the first baby, and here's the second baby, and then we've got the mama Brachiosaurus right here. This one is huge. But check out beside it on the next shelf, this is a giant T-Rex, and look at all the battle damage that it has on its neck and on its face too. Look at the size of those teeth right there. Some of them are broken because this is an old toy, but this is still a really cool looking T-Rex. And look at that, right next to it, we've got a smaller T-Rex, ready to fight as well. And right beneath it is another dinosaur that I would not want to mess with in the wild because of the size of these spikes. This is the Sauropelta. And last but certainly not least is this giant Velociraptor and this tiny little Dimorphodon on top. But check out this Velociraptor. Look at those teeth in its mouth. And just like the other giant dinosaurs I have, this Velociraptor has a stomach compartment. So you can actually feed it small dinosaurs and it goes all the way down to its stomach where you can take them out again. That is super cool. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a bunch of dinosaurs from the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. And I've even got some brand new dinosaurs to unbox. Let's start with the biggest one, the Tyrannosaurus Rex Thrash and Devour. All right. Here is the new Jurassic World Dominion Tyrannosaurus Rex. And it does have some action buttons as well. You can see on the tail right here. What does that do? All right. That activates the jaw. I do see something right here. That is the barcode that you scan with the Camp Cretaceous app to find out more about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. That is super cool. The old ones have the sticker on the bottom of their feet, but now they're doing this little DNA barcode. That's really cool. And of course, you can move the tail and it moves its head as well. Check that out. And look at that. I bet you can fit some tiny dinosaurs in its mouth. It's got enough room in there to fit a few to swallow. All right, I've got 2 more brand new toys to unbox still. Which one to open first? Let's go with this one. This is the Scorpiovinator. That is crazy. I haven't seen a dinosaur that looks like this before. Let's open it up. All right, here is the Scorpiovinator. Let's go ahead and put that tail on, and it just clicks in like that. And there we go. Wow, look at the face on this dinosaur. Kind of reminds me of a Carnotaurus in a way. But I love the coloring on this one. It's like that mustard yellow, and it's got that gray top. And look at all those horns on top as well. Oh, and he comes with sound effects too. Let's see what else he can do. So his head moves up and down for chomping. And he's got that DNA barcode to scan on as well. And look at those tiny little arms. So this is a massive chomping dinosaur. Look at this chomping action. And look at all those teeth too. This is a huge jaw. You got those yellow glowing eyes. This is a pretty cool dinosaur. I am super excited to add this to my collection. All right, our next brand new dinosaur. It is a good old Triceratops from the Jurassic World Dominion series. Let's open it up. All right, let's put that tail on. Clicks right in, nice and easy. All right, here is our Roar Strikers Triceratops. Oh, that's really cool. Look at how its head moves, as if it's like stabbing another dinosaur or something. It's mostly green, so it'll camouflage into the jungle really well. And then it's got those, it's like brown-red stripes on the top. It's a really cool detail. Look at the size of those horns, too. Super awesome. All right, now on for the rest of the Dominion dinosaurs. This is an Indominus Rex. And it's custom colored too. You won't see these colors in the movie, but it's still an awesome Indominus Rex. Look at those orange stripes all along its body. It's got the purple and the blue. This one is so cool. It's one of the most colorful dinosaurs that I have. And look at that. You could probably fit some mini dinosaurs in this dinosaur's mouth too. I think there's enough space in there. That is really cool. And it has a claw slashing action as well. Better watch out for the Indominus Rex. And right in the front up here, we've got the almighty Giganotosaurus. This is even bigger than a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I believe it actually runs even faster than a T-Rex too. Do you think that a T-Rex would stand a chance against one of these? Let me know in the comments below. All right, we've got a lot more big dinosaurs in here. This is the Spinosaurus. And this is a classic coloring, I think, because it's got the green on the sides that blend into the jungle, and then the red striping on the top. This dinosaur is gigantic, and they actually swim in the water too. These dinosaurs were known to go fishing in the water. How cool is that? All right, we've got a lot more T-Rexes in here. Here is one that's really posable. You can twist its neck around, and of course you've got the tiny little arms, movable legs, the tail is fully adjustable as well. Detail in its mouth as well. It's got that tongue and all those teeth. Over here we've got another massive Tyrannosaurus Rex. Check this out. Wow, look at that tearing action. That would tear the meat off any dinosaur. And the second action is with its tail. Press this button right here and it'll swing its tail and hit any dinosaur that's trying to attack it. That is super awesome. Uh-oh, you better watch out. Here is another Indominus Rex. This one, unlike the one that we saw earlier, has more traditional coloring. So it's the gray all along its body. And look at those teeth too. Those things are so huge. And of course it's got the spikes along its back. And it's got that slashing action. You better watch out. Check out this T-Rex over here. This T-Rex has battle damage. You can see it's hidden on its side right there. But when you press this button up top, watch, ready? 3, 2, 1. Battle damage on both sides. That is super cool. And this T-Rex has a mouth that will stay open even without pressing a button. So you can pose it with its mouth open on your shelf like that. That is super cool. Oh, look at this one back here. Another gigantic Spinosaurus. And this one has way cooler coloring. Look at all the different colors on its body. And of course, the green eyes. That's the most brightest part of this dinosaur. Those are some filthy teeth. This dinosaur needs to brush his teeth. Let's keep going. This is another T-Rex. This one also has a button on the head that you can press to open its jaw. That is really cool. And of course you've got the movable legs, the arms, the neck, and the tail. All right, another T-Rex. This one's a bit different though. It's got a button right here that's kind of hidden. Let's see what happens when you press it. Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't think I have another T-Rex that's animatronic that moves its neck like that. That is super cool. And you'll see that it's got these wheels on its feet, so you can actually roll it around. This is a lot different than the other T-Rexes that I have, but it's still an awesome addition to my collection. Look out! I see a ferocious dinosaur in here. It's the Scorpius Rex. Well, look at all those teeth. You've got an action button for slashing. And like you may already know with the Scorpius Rex, the quills on its tail are actually poisonous, so you better watch out for those when he's attacking you. And you can actually swing the tail back and forth. Let's keep digging. All right, right here we've got a Carnotaurus. Look at those little horns on its head. Look at that battle damage on its side right there. That is so cool. And on the tail, you can move its neck and head. So it looks really lifelike. Better watch out. Here comes the Carnotaurus. Ooh, here's a dangerous dinosaur. This is the Dilophosaurus. Better watch out when it sticks out its frills. That might mean he's gonna attack. Oh, look at this one right at the top here. This is a T-Rex with extreme battle damage. Look at this. You can like take it almost all the way apart and reveal the inside. That is so cool. Over here, this is a Cryolophosaurus. Look at that head. That is a super cool head. Super decorative and kind of intimidating at the same time. And you can use its tail to control its head. All right, here we've got a Baryonyx with battle damage. Look at that, right on its neck you can see it's been hurt while it was fighting, and on its leg as well. And this dinosaur has an action button. Let's try it out. And I think we've actually got another Baryonyx in here without battle damage. Look at that, totally different coloring. It's got that bright blue on its neck and its head. And it has a different action button as well. Let's see what happens when you press this. That is super neat. It's got a bunch of different sound effects, and it actually slides up and down to different positions, so you can have its mouth open or all the way closed. All right here we've got a Metriacanthosaurus. This one is like a bright yellow and green coloring, and it's got an action button on the top as well. You better watch out for this dinosaur. He looks a little hungry. Oh, look over here. We've got a massive Stegosaurus, and it has some action buttons as well. If you press this up here, then it actually swings its tail back and forth. You better watch out for those spikes. Those are some huge spikes. I think this dinosaur blends into the jungle really well. Got that brown bottom for the dirt on the jungle, and then you've got a green top to blend into the bushes and the trees. That is super cool. Ooh, I see a cool dinosaur right up top here. You better watch out. This is the Therizinosaurus. Look at those huge claws on its hands. Those would really hurt during a battle. And it's got this long neck leading up to its face. And with this toy, you can open and close its mouth. And this dinosaur has some pretty sinister looking coloring, don't you think? It's got that darker colors on the top and on its side. And then it's got that red all along its face and neck, and even on the tail too. I would be super scared to run into this dinosaur in the wild. Oh, look at here. We've got another giant Carnotaurus. And this one has a chomping action. Let's check that out again. That is super cool. It's got the movable tail and legs and those teeny tiny little arms up front. Let's keep going. We've got a lot more dinosaurs to go. All right, this one is an Allosaurus. Look at the coloring. It's like speckled with the white and the red on the top. And it's got this awesome action button. And some massive roars too. Here we go, we've got another super dangerous dinosaur, another Scorpius Rex. You better watch out. It's got all those teeth in the front again. With this toy, the jaw doesn't open, but it still has those massive claws and of course the quills on its tail. Right over here, this is another cool looking dinosaur. I'm actually not sure what kind of dinosaur this is. I think it's an herbivore. But let me know in the comments if you know what type of dinosaur this is. Let's see what action it does with this button right here. All right, so it's got some running. That is super cool. I bet this is a super fast dinosaur. All right, I think this is another Baryonyx. Look at those teeth. And this one is a green color and the brown on the top. That is super cool. Up next, we've got a giant Velociraptor. And this one is super adjustable. So this one is perfect for posing on a shelf. So look at all the limbs that you can move. You can bend its knees, its elbows, its shoulders, its neck. This one is super cool, super posable. All right, here we go. This is another Spinosaurus. This one is a bit smaller than the other Spinosauruses that we have in our collection, but I still love these dinosaurs. Here is a super bright dinosaur. This is another Dilophosaurus with those crazy frills in the front. And look how bright this whole dinosaur is. This is like neon coloring. That is super cool. And it's got this button on the side. I think it's out of batteries, but you could hear sound effects normally on it. Here is another Triceratops with those huge horns in the front. And this one actually has different coloring than the other Triceratops that we opened at the beginning. This is brown on the sides and it's got that speckled blue on the top and even on the very front as well. You better watch out. Don't get in the way of those horns. Oh, look at this. We've got a few miniature Indominus Rexes. Look at this really small one. It's still super detailed. You can see all the spikes on its back and on its neck. It's super cool. And then this Indominus Rex has got some battle damage on its side. And the tail actually adjusts the neck so you can move its neck up and down for that chomping action. Look at this. We've got a few more baby Dilophosauruses. Uh-oh, this one's missing one side of its frill. But look at the difference in the coloring between these two. These Dilophosauruses may be small, but you'll still want to stay out of their way. They're super dangerous. Look at these. I believe these are Gallimimuses. And they've both have different coloring. One is a brown-orange color with the stripes on top, and the other is more of a blue-gray color. And instead of like actual stripes, it has just a more solid, darker blue on the top. And they're both quite adjustable. You can move the arms and the legs and the necks up and down. Oh, I see some of my favorite dinosaurs in here. Quite a few of them, actually. These are the mighty Velociraptors. And look at all the different ones that we have. This one is like a darker green color, and it's posed as if it's sneaking along. Look at that, sneaking along the ground. This one actually has a few different colors on it. It's got the brown on the top, it's got the tan on the sides, and a little bit of speckled white right on the sides there. And this one actually has a slashing action, so you can slash those claws back and forth. And then our final two raptors in the bin have even more colors. This is a brighter green Velociraptor with the green striping on the top. And this one is like a yellow color, comes with the battle damage, and it's got the brown on the very top as well. These Velociraptors are so cool. Oh, you know what? I think I actually missed one more Velociraptor. Better watch out, this one's sneaking up on you. All right, just a few dinosaurs left. Here we've got a baby Triceratops, still with those huge horns on the front right there, and it comes with the battle damage on the side. And then we've got this unusual looking dinosaur. This is called a Minmi, and look at all that armor. I think that's armor, or those are spikes along its top, but I would not want to try to attack this dinosaur. That would probably hurt. And our last two dinosaurs of the bin. Over here, we've got a flying Pteranodon. Look out, it's coming to get ya. And right here, we've got a baby T-Rex. Look at that. And it's got that chomping action as well. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are unboxing a bunch of dinosaurs that we think are going to be in the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion movie. I'm super excited for the movie, and I'm super excited to show you all these dinosaurs. So let's get started with this T-Rex. Look at this coloring here. It's got like the camouflage coloring. It's got the green and then the dark brown on the top. And on the bottom here, you can see this button that makes a sound every time the T-Rex stomps on the ground, like this. That is really cool. And if you move the tail, it moves the T-Rex's head too. This is super cool. This is one of my favorite T-Rexes right here. All right, next up is the famous Spinosaurus. Did you know that Spinosauruses are actually larger than Tyrannosaurus rexes? And Spinosauruses are actually the largest predator dinosaur that we know of. All right, next up, we've got this gigantic Mussaurus figure. All the fins pivot, and the mouth opens and closes. Look at those eyes, too. Did you know that Mosasauruses are actually not considered dinosaurs? They are reptiles and actually pretty closely related to snakes. That's really interesting. I didn't know that before. All right, here we go. An Indominus Rex. Look at the size of those claws on its feet. Claws on its hands, too. Wow, those are massive. It's got the spikes on the back of its head, too. Look at these two action buttons. Got one up here. And then one on the tail for the jaw. And over here, we've got a T-Rex. And look at this button on the top. When you press it, it whips its head around like it's tearing a piece of meat. Look at that. And the other button on its back moves the tail back and forth. That's pretty cool. All right, we've got another Spinosaurus. This one is colored differently. It's mostly green, and it's got the red and white stripes on the spine. Next up in our bin, we've got the Sarcophagus, and look at the coloring on this one. It's like a dark purple on top, and it's got that red and orange, and then a gray-blue belly and side as well. And check out the teeth on this thing too. Did you know that both the Sarcophagus here and the Spinosaurus lived near water? Which means that in real life, they probably battled each other all the time for food and for territory. And speaking of Spinosauruses, here is another one. And this has the brown coloring on the side and also the red spine, just like the other Spinosauruses we've seen. And look at that, we've got another Indominus Rex in our bin. Look at the size difference between an Indominus Rex and the T-Rex toy. The Indominus Rex is bigger than the T-Rex. And I really like this T-Rex toy. It's quite controllable, as you can see with the tail. You can move its head, you can twist its head when you twist the tail, and it's got the button on the tail as well if you want to operate the mouth. Did you know that we still actually are not sure why T-Rex's front arms are so small? We're not entirely sure. I find that super interesting. Let's keep digging. Let's see what else is in here. All right. We got a Scorpius Rex right here. Did you know that these spines are actually venomous? And when they're attacked, they'll hit their opponent with this tail, and these spines will actually stay in their opponent, just like a porcupine, actually. All right, let's keep digging through our bin. Check this out. This is a really loud dinosaur. This is a Majungasaurus, and it's got the green coloring on most of its body, and then like the yellow stripes on its back. Wow, this one is quite noisy. Look at that blue coloring on its neck too. That's pretty cool. And when you move the tail on this toy, its head moves up and down too. Ooh, look at this. This one right here is a Sinoceratops. And look at all those horns on the front too. And next up in our bin, we've got a gray Allosaurus, and it's got that yellow pattern on the top of its body right there. When we press this action button, ooh, those are cool sound effects. And look at those teeth too. All right, here we go. I remember this from the other Jurassic World movies. Here is the Indoraptor. It's black, and it's got that gold stripe down the side. These dinosaurs are quite sneaky in the movie. And here we've got a flying dinosaur. This is a Pteranodon, and it's got the red wings on the top and like the blue-green body, and its mouth opens and closes too. And when you press the button on its back, the wings flap. All right, check it out. We've actually got 3 Dilophosauruses in this bin. Look, we've got a green one here. We've got a gray one right here. And And then we've got like a dark brown one right here with the blue top. Very cool. Only a few more left. One of my favorites, a Velociraptor. It's got the gold top. Look at how shiny that is. And the blue sides. Only 3 left. Next up is this Stygimoloch. And look on its side, it's got that battle damage that you can flip open. Look at the horns on the top too. And for our final 2 dinosaurs in the bin, we've got a Dimetrodon here with the red spine. And look at that, its mouth opens and closes. And we've got a Gallimimus. It's a small little dinosaur. Its neck moves up and down though. Its arms move up and down, and its legs as well.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and add this to our massive Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Godzilla, King Kong studio. Remember, you've seen this awesome video on amazing dinosaurs on YouTube.